Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is my 6th week at Boston Dynamics, and the fridge was my first project. I was told this was a year-end project that we were trying to target, and then it became a 2-week task.
The new generation of Atlas, it's a very exciting robot. When we started working on its design, we set out to build a robot that was designed for low cost, ease of manufacturing, reliability, and simplicity, right? Like, really it's a robot for which we've tried to reduce the complexity as much as possible. One of the cool things is that we've been able to, despite that simplification, maintain many of the things that make Boston Dynamics robots fun to work with, right? It's a robot that it is very strong, it's a robot that it is very agile and fast, and it's very easy to control. We're very successful at having fun in simulation, designing behaviors that then almost always work with the real hardware. One of the goals that we've had in the last couple of months since we've been working with this robot is basically being able to prove to ourselves that what we thought was possible with this robot is actually possible.
Basically, Atlas needs to be a tool. A tool basically that is similar to humans, which means it needs to start interacting with objects. And objects come in all shapes and forms. And because Atlas is a beast, and we know that it's capable of lifting heavy objects, we basically wanted to jump in the deep end.
The empty fridge is 50 pounds, and that is mostly what we shot with. In the lab, to really see what we could do, we were able to go up to 100 pounds, which was entirely unseen for the policy. It was always trained at about 50 to 70 pounds. And this is really pushing the limits of what humanoid robots can do. I don't know of any other humanoid robot that has moved a big, heavy object like a fridge.
So the fridge experiment was really cool, and something I've kind of always been wanting to do, which is basically, instead of just grabbing things like with your hand and grasping it and kind of moving it like this, it was really using the whole body and really leveraging straight arms, lift up a thing, and really put your whole body into it was kind of the idea. And I've always wanted to do that with a robot. A couple of things have come together recently. We have a really capable new robot that could actually do it. And we have a lot of really cool new tools on the team that we're utilizing to program it to do these kinds of behaviors. I've been here at Boston Dynamics for 15 years, and I've been a leader on the controls team for about that long. And we've gone through many cycles and many, pivots. And I think this one, where we are right now, is probably the most exciting.
In the 6 weeks, I've noticed that it's fairly easy for us to test things. There's a rigorous pipeline that's been established, and there's a lot of people working behind the scenes. The whole system in itself is a packaged system for us to test new policies on. So I could be training a policy today, and tomorrow I have a baked-in policy, and within an hour, my policy is on the robot. I'm testing, I'm collecting data, I'm seeing what's happening, and I'm iterating and I'm getting back. So that whole pipeline is seamless. We kind of have a very close sim to real gap with just the robot. And that's been very fun to focus on and not worry about that aspect.
We put together a animation, a reference of what it would look like for the robot to move the fridge. Then in simulation for millions of hours, we let the robot practice moving the fridge in the exact same way. We encouraged it to move the fridge like we told it, to not drop the fridge, and all those sorts of things. And then once you get sort of the reward tuning right, the physics correct for the hand dragging along the fridge, and you run it on the hardware, it does perfectly. We have not seen the limits of what Atlas can do. We are still pushing the limits in terms of the sort of big, heavy object that Atlas can pick up. We're always going to keep pushing it. All right, backflip in 3, 2, 1. Like a champ.
So what's next? Well, it's never been easier to bring this robot outside the lab, and we're very excited to do that. We're only limited by our imagination now.